Good morning, folks. Saturday morning edition here of Painting Amorites. Not going to be doing that much longer. This is really coming to a close here, so. Let's take a look at where we left things off yesterday. Got the horses done. Of course, the chariot's been done. And just need to paint little bits on these last two figures. That's the charioteer and the general who's shooting people selectively with a bow. So that's what we're going to plan on doing this morning and start on that. I was going to say, see how far we get, but man, I got to be able to finish these last two figures. It's not much of an ask. All right, let's open up here. Now, I was on for a little over 2 hours yesterday evening. Didn't disconnect once, so it seems like the frequent offending day is Saturday morning. So again, if I disconnect, just stay with me. That should be on until about, I'd say, for a couple hours. So if something happens that's I get disconnected, I didn't say goodbye to you or ta-ta, then I'll be right back on. All right. Seems to be Saturday morning is when things want to misbehave. All right, so we need to give this guy some suspenders. So it looks like what this guy has. Well, let's just start off by using the same color that we have here and see if that works for us by the time we're done, because there's no reason in being extra creative on something that's not exactly that. I think we were using this brush. Yeah. All right. Had a good group of folks on last night. Some nice exchanges. Hopefully we can do that again this morning. I know Sunday morning seems to be a more popular time, but you guys are working on your honey-do list on Saturday. I get it. Saturday's what I like to call your first chance of doing whatever the hell you want. cover this up a little bit because I was getting not enough coverage there on this one spot on his skirt yesterday while I was painting that. I'm having the habit of when I'm putting down color, I'm just not using enough of it. And I'm not really doing it for any ulterior motives. It's just what happens. I don't put a ton of paint there. White's still alive. There we go. This is a nice color to it. Now, we talked yesterday, we wanted to give this guy some kind of striping. So we'll probably roll into that here in a moment. All right, what kind of colors is this guy wearing? None yet. Okay. Well, I want them contrasting. So if the general's wearing red, I want this guy wearing blue. Let's give this guy red. We'll go blue with the general. Let's grab a red. Grab a whole bottle for the very little I'm going to use. Good morning for those of you that are just joining us. I'm getting to the bottom of the Amorites here. Just finishing up a couple elements here on this chariot. And then it's off to do the camp/baggage. And they're done. We'll move on to greener pastures. Literally, somewhere less arid. All right, let's take a look at this guy's. This thing being incorrigible. There we go. Hopefully it doesn't warm up too much today. Right now it's supposedly 64 degrees there in the dark, so that's a cool morning for us here. You'd be surprised how few mornings are as cool as 64. Frequently have mornings that are 75, 79, 80. And the sun's not even up. All right, let's go grab more of this core red. Let's brighten this up. Didn't make much of a difference. Let's just go straight to the red. And I'm painting kind of watered down too. Which the advantage of that means is it doesn't really matter how many layers I have. I'm not going to make the paint all goopy. Get in the right position here. Man, I've never painted this sore before. It's something interesting, definitely. All right, let's get some of this lightener here. It doesn't matter if it's a little bit pinkish. It's not going to go over the whole thing. Some people freak out about lightening red with white, but the reality is, if you do leave something out in the sun, it does kind of fade into a pink. Sometimes I lighten it with yellow and sometimes I don't. I'm actually going to go a little bit more. And it's paint his hair and facial hair, and this guy should be done. Got a little bit of leftover paint on the side of this. Let's go ahead and take care of that. Welcome, folks. It's Silent Saturday. That was it. Just some on the side of the brush. All right. Black. This guy's kind of like have a beard, kind of like Abraham Lincoln. Trendsetter. Okay, we're going to set this guy off to the side. All right. So the general is complete, except his belt and whatever we're going to do down here at the bottom. I did that because I couldn't decide at the time. So because I'm lazy and the color's already here, we're going to paint the same color on them as the basic skirt color. They're wearing like a scale armor muumuu. All right, let's pull out a blue. We need so little of this. And again, I'll say it again because there's quite a few people on here. If somehow I get disconnected and I don't get to say my goodbyes, I'll be back on because it was unintentional. We were on yesterday, and it just seems like Saturday mornings is when I want to have a little glitch in the internet signal. I don't know what it is. But Saturdays seem to be the trouble time. All right, what are we going to do on here? Let's put some stripes on here. Like his entire undergarment he has on. Has stripes on it. The general's undergarments. Just a little bit of detail there across the bottom. And it's different than any of the other figures that I have in this army. None of them have anything like that. This is more exciting than others have. Okay. And at the very bottom of this, there's like a little ridge. I think I'm going to paint that white. I don't want it to make it metallic. I want it to pop a little bit. Let's try doing that. See how it looks. If I don't like it, I can always repaint it. Okay, now belt. I'm going to go ahead and do a blue belt because that'll tie into some of the blue down there. But I need to use more paint than that. Man, everybody quiet this morning. Are they really people or just bots? Not really sure if there's watching bots on Facebook or YouTube or what have you. And now we'll add a lightener. I think that looks pretty good. Now we just need to figure out what we're going to do with the shoes, and I think I'm going to give him boots. And dark brown's as good a color as anything else. He'd be the only person in the entire army wearing boots, not barefoot. Let's find chocolate brown. And that's it. We can set these guys off to the side. We'll go spray them when the sun comes out. We're not on video. And we'll start working on some camels. Ooh. It's only 3 of them. 3 baggage camels are what the camp consists of. Okay, he's done. Doesn't look like much. They look better sprayed. Take some of that unnecessary shine in places that doesn't need to have it. Let me, oh, now I see all the comments. I wonder why I didn't see that before. Okay, well, let me comment on everything. Sorry. Australian Greg, be able to watch for a little while before going out to dinner. You're always eating. Peter, good morning. Last day of Chariot Crew, it is. Red like yellow is a hard color to get a good even coverage over a dark undercoat. Yellow is a pain. Red, I don't have much of a problem with red. Mike B, welcome. How about a hint of purple on the king? Seems Middle Eastern. He's not a king. He's a general. Otherwise, he wouldn't be wearing armor and stuff. I don't know. Are they pre-ziggurat? About that time period. Stephen Carroll. Glad the contact lens idea is working out okay, although I don't know what effect the thinners will have when you store your lenses. Oh, so you were the one that had the idea about the contact lens case. If that's you, well, thank you. Go tell your wife or significant other that you've had one good idea. They'll be proud of you. I think it worked great. I just needed to get a case. I had lots of them, and this one was just a funky color. So, yeah, I have a thing here that says live chat, and it was stuck on top chat for some reason. And, yeah, I don't know. The mysteries of the internet. You know, you make hundreds of these things, and then all of a sudden things don't work like they used to. I've never touched it before, so I was wondering why everybody was supposedly quiet. No. Fortunately, I was wrong. Okay. So here are all the pieces parts. 2 horses. And the chariot. All kind of subdued a little bit. You know, the army is very subdued, so I don't want this guy to be super crazy. I don't want to use purple in every... You know, I want to move them over here on my screen, but I got to do it the opposite. So let's... Nope, that doesn't work. All right. I'm just going to move this. Nope, wrong way. Jesus. Drink. Watered down tea doesn't exactly the right effect for a drink. But here is all the pieces parts. Chariot, general, charioteer who will have reins in his hands. Of course, we gotta seal all this stuff and so forth. So the process. Let's go ahead and grab a 40 by 40 and put that together because that's coming up soon. Actually, I need to grab 2 of them because one of them is going to be for the camp. So we'll go spray these guys after it's daylight so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Jesus, got enough of this stuff? Looks amazing. I don't think so yet. We'll just wait till they're sprayed. Then they will. I believe you. Because there's lots of times I've painted at this stage. I've been like, I don't know. I guess this will work. And then I just kind of go with the idea that it's not going to look exactly how I wanted it to. I spray it and then be like, damn, are these the same figures? All right, let's pull this stuff out because obviously... What's that doing in there? Just looking for a 40 by 40 magnet. I know I got plenty of them. Here they are. They're mixed in the same bag. What an idiot would do that. Alright, I got 2. We'll need 1. 2 of these. So the process is, this is the tricky process that you have to kind of figure out on your own when you do it. We're going to seal all these pieces. Then after these pieces are sealed, I'm going to take what's holding on to this, flip it upside down, and paint the bottom. Not really complicated, because right now it's just basically black. Paint that, seal that. One coat of sealant's enough for that. I can just do the flat coat on it and be fine. It's in there, it's really not going to be touched. So then all my pieces are sealed. Then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to pop the horses off. And of course this will already be popped off. And kind of put them together here and mark them with a pencil where things need to be. And glue the two horses down and leave two spots for where the wheels are going to touch the stand. And then goop everything without this attached to it. Paint the goop, dry brush. Don't need to put the tufts in yet. Then after that's done, then find that same spot, glue the epoxy this piece down, and then use a little bit of the goop to get the corners, to get the little spot I left open for the tires, so that it all blends together. Paint that little bit. Now everything's on there except the crew. Then go and glue the crew in with epoxy, and then thread the reins on the charioteer. It's not that difficult. It's just a million steps, you know. And I'm a fan of, you know, doing all of one step at one time if I can. And you just can't do it when you're doing something like a chariot, you know. It's kind of the same thing that happened with a war wagon, but just lots of multiple steps. Wish there was a setting on here. Don't send me any notifications while I'm filming my own material. I got a notification. Instagram was upgraded in the background. Updated in the background. Well, I don't use Instagram much at all. I think it's extremely clunky. Not really suited for me. All right, well, let's trim this stuff out because we don't want to have these little bits that are sticking out. But I've been at the stage many times before where I'm like, well, I'm not really happy with how these figures turned out. They didn't exactly turn out how I wanted to. But F it, I want to move on to the next army, or whatever reason I want to just be done with them. And then I'll spray them and stuff, and it's just like, it brings everything together. And it's happened to me quite a few times. I don't like this magnet sticking out past the side of the stand. So when you put your units together side by side, they don't fit. They don't fit flush. I was wondering when I was going to encounter the person that had the idea about the contact lens case. Yeah, I've been using that for a bit now. Maybe a year. It still dries up pretty fast, but it keeps, keeps it from really drying up. All right. All right, let's set these guys off to the side. And let's back out a little bit. Let's put this stuff away. That's the problem with this is after a while you have all these colors that have just invaded your workspace. It happens every time. Man, this chair's extra creaky. I tried flipping it over and tightening it out the other day. It didn't help. I think it was better for like a day, and man, just imagine if I was gamer sized. That chair would really bitch a lot. I like to say I'm a gamer size medium. Okay, that's a little better. That's a little better. All right, let's move these. Now I got space to move these guys to the back. Now, I'll show you guys what we're dealing with next. This is the camp. These are going to be on a 40 by 40 stand. And these are some old school miniatures. So some of you may have never seen these miniatures before. Some of you might remind you of other times. Again, not in the frame. All right. I want to say this is I don't even know who the manufacturer is. I got these off a grab bag, so it's 3 baggage camels. These are obviously the same manufacturer, and I don't know who they would be. And then this is, I want to say this is a, I'm not sure who the hell it is. But this is what we're going to do next. We're going to paint these camels, so. Alright, we're going to go with one of those first because there's 2 of them, and we're going to paint them each slightly different. So, let's get us a oh look, it even says camel orange ochre. Look, camel orange ochre. Hopefully this was not too watery. Well, one thing's for sure. I don't remember where the hell my next army is, but I think it's in the big box. The problem with the big box is it weighs like 80 pounds. I really don't want to move 80 pounds right now. Doesn't mean I'm not going to. It just means I don't want to. So that's going to be fun. All right. See how incorrigible this color is going to be. It's not too bad. Again, I put all the paint away. Now the paint's going to accumulate again. Never-ending story. All right. Do you want to use dark brown or black? I'm fine using black. I'm fine using black. He's going to look kind of yellowy, but remember, we're going to lighten it up with other colors. I don't want to go, hey, let's look at pictures of camels. I've done that. It's not very helpful. Camels are all kinds of different colors. I mean, literally. They are all over the place. And they're going to have some dark spots on them. So let me not put too much thought into it. And the other one that's in the same pose as this, we're going to paint him differently as well. So this guy can be yellowish. Okay, I think we've got everything. This guy's carrying a load. A load and a half. Does this thing die again? Let's see. Okay. Well, should be good. All right. It's a happy little camel spitting right here. Okay, I think we're probably good there. Let's take the white. We probably need to put some more of it down, I think. Oh, maybe not. This is actually one of the processes that I like the most. Paint camels, painting horses. Bringing the inanimate to life. I like it. All Now we'll take a look at a picture of some camels. Good morning, Mr. Simpson. The Simpsons are here, or at least one of them. Let's see if I can get away with something. Pictures of camels. I don't know if I've typed this many things with my left hand before, ever. Right. They're all over the place. Okay, fair enough. Okay. All right, we still have plenty of that core color here. Let's go ahead and let's add a little bit more of this so we have a little bit more to work with. Yeah, this has paint that's stuck up here at the top. Let's take care of that. I'm trying to do it wait less time than I normally would. Let's see if we can't. We got paint here at the top of this brush. See if we can't deal with that a little bit. This stuff is pretty good for taking paint off. Be interesting to see how it deals with a brush that's of some kind of a reasonable quality, unlike these. These are just garbage. Got about half of it off. There you go. That's the stuff right here. Anyhow, so tomorrow morning, probably somewhere in that time period, we'll probably do the reins on the chariot. For those of you that want to see something crazy, it's not that crazy. It'd be crazy if I needed to put the reins exactly where they go on the real horse. That's just, I think I'd have to drill through the horse's mouth and run it through his mouth. But I think that's just extreme. I think that's just extreme to do that. Because there's points where it'd have to link there and then link on his on the harness. I can't do the harness. So we're just going to I'll show you what I'll do tomorrow morning. I'm not going to steal my own thunder here. But I've done 2 chariots that way and was really happy with the results. Of course, that was 13 years ago? 12 years ago when I did it? Told you, I haven't done chariot in that long. Okay, I'll be right back. I need to get a refill on some liquid. Be right back. left and somebody showed up. Sorry to disappoint you, I'm back. All right. Wake my triceps up. All right. The Simpsons. Every time I think of The Simpsons, you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of this conversation that back in the days of going on the miniatures page, which, God, I couldn't even tell you last time I was on there. DVA pretty much, I started doing DVA, and there was a forum for DVA. I pretty much stopped going to the miniatures page. So 2004, 2005. I stopped going about the time they started adding all these other groups for like food, politics. Like, I don't want to argue about food. Who gives a crap about that? I want to talk about my hobby. But anyhow, used to be a really good place. Like, hey, who makes miniatures for this or who makes miniatures for that? But I remember this one guy who was just trolling. This is like trolling before there was trolling. He was on this one, he started this discussion about, I think it was called something like Japanese flesh tone or something like that. And this guy was saying that he had some Japanese troops and he wanted to paint them so that they looked like the skin tone of the Simpsons. And he was wanting to know which yellow he used. And people just came unglued. And, it's obvious the guy wasn't being serious. But, oh man, that was a shitstorm. And so I always remember The Simpsons. I hear The Simpsons, and that's what I think of. I don't think of O.J. Simpson. I think of that guy. That guy starting that conversation. I don't know. It was late enough that that people were starting to get offended by stuff like that. Obviously wasn't being serious. Japanese skin tones aren't really any different than our own. I'm not really sure what the background reason that people like to argue about things. Maybe they don't have enough conflict and arguments in their own lives. I have plenty of it at work, so I'm not volunteering for any extracurricular arguing. But I think there's quite a few people that just couldn't make it into law school for whatever reason and just decided to do that as their hobby. Now people are offended by every single damn little thing. But whenever that post came up, that wasn't there yet. And I don't know what had happened. It happened in 2008, 2009, 2007, something like that. People now get their panties in a wad about everything. Now, this guy looks like he's got some kind of fur on his neck. So we're going to paint that. We're going to lighten that up a little differently. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. Let me take a look at that. I don't think I closed that down. Sometimes it's darker, sometimes it's lighter. I think it's probably darker, generally. Okay. I miss everybody's chatter. Everybody went back to sleep. Let's make sure that this is the right things clicked on here. Yeah. And here. Okay. Somebody certainly like to argue. I joined a Facebook page about 6 months ago. I think I told you guys about it. And because I thought the website was going to be A. I thought the community was going to be A. And it ended up being Q. It's just something totally different. And the name of the site is called You Park Like an F-Head. Of course, the F part is spelled out. And it was a place for people to post pictures where other people were extremely inconsiderate of how they parked in a parking lot. I mean, just extreme stuff. And it started off with, somebody would come, hey, look, I saw this guy park in a certain way in a parking lot. And just for comedy purposes, I'm like, but it just turned into everybody like giving him a pass for every reason. And like nothing was ever good enough. You know, it was like they always would come up with fake excuses why you should just like leave these people alone. All you're doing is taking a picture of it. It's not like you're scratching their car up or anything. But I finally left yesterday. I'm like, I was just tired of, I thought the group was going to be, A, and it's just a bunch of people arguing about shit. And it's like, never mind. And I'm a member of another car group of a particular vehicle that I'm currently the owner of. And the community just turns into half the people complaining about how the car is a piece of shit. I said, well, why are you even part of the community? I mean, do people need hobbies that badly that they're going to like, well, I don't have anything better to do, so let me tell people how I don't like everything about this. Man, go do something else. Go do something else. All right, now we said we were going to leave this guy darker. So here's what we're going to do. Let's go back to this color here with the black, right? Well, maybe not that much black. Jeez. Can't work with that. Here we go. And let's just make sure we got a good coating on this. I get enough negativity and shit from work that I don't need to go find it on my own time. You know what I'm saying? On my own time, if I don't like something, I'll just walk away. I'm like, I don't like that over there. So you know what I do? I don't go that way. It's not worth it. All right, and then we'll lighten this up with white. So it's the same color with black, but we're lightening this up with white. And it's still the same color, still the same fur. It's just kind of a different take on it, so to speak. And then a little bit more. Let's go light with this. So I'm not really sure what kind of who's casting this particular camel is. There's no doubt I got this off a flea market or something. I really like the museum camels, but they're just too big. They just don't fit on the stand at all. You gotta put them at an angle, like they're doing some kind of a side slip. Let me show you what I got here. Okay. Now we're in 16 minutes with no problem so far. That's good. No disconnections. All right, we got some bags on here and stuff. I think we're gonna leave the bags for later. We'll do all the bags at once. Let's do the other camel. Same pose. Same pose, same miniature. Let's do a couple things differently. Way too yellow. I'm going to use Iraqi sand as the base of this one. Oh. And we're going to use chocolate brown with that. There we go. Yeah, we're going to mix these up a little bit. Maybe they'll be nice and complementary to each other, or maybe I'll really like one over the other and I can just repaint it. I've painted 6 camels before for my my Islamic Berber army a long time ago. The second army I painted, this was in like 2005. The second DBA army I painted. Not like I was a noob to painting in 2005, but I don't know if I painted them any different. I think I may have painted the camels all the same color. I may have to take a break soon. I'm just really sore. Really, really sore. Good sore. But still, I don't think I've ever painted with muscle pain before. I don't believe I ever have.
I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna take a little break. And what did we do? An hour and a half, something like that. Yeah, an hour and 22 minutes. So yeah, I'm sure we'll probably be up painting again later today. But yeah, looking forward to spraying my Amorite troops. But okay, well until next time, thanks for stopping by, folks, and we'll catch you guys later. See ya. Happy painting.